By the end of today, Northwest Territories residents will be one step closer in deciding their political future for the next 4 years. At the last Yellowknife Forum before the election, nonprofit organization N.W.T centered questions around issues of concern to Indigenous communities.
It's an opportunity for the constituents in the ridings in Yellowknife to hear more from the candidates about issues that they've already been talking about, but with a focus on Indigenous peoples.
Moderator Mandy McDonald says candidates don't always address issues facing Indigenous people unless specifically asked.
Indigenous peoples are not issues, but a lot of the issues that we're going to be talking about tonight and that the candidates have been talking about disproportionately impact Indigenous peoples in the north, and especially the decisions that are made in the N.W.T by people that live in Yellowknife have very big effects and implications for people in the communities outside of Yellowknife.
Voters are electing 16 MLAs with 3 candidates already being acclaimed. Outside of Yellowknife, there are 11 ridings up for grabs. At the forum, candidates discussed issues such as mental health, housing, and the climate emergency.
But I think we can shift the emphasis to the opportunities being presented now to get off of our toxic dependence on foreign-owned fossil fuels, and for communities to become self-governing in terms of controlling their own energy sources.
The territorial government is a colonial system.
There was also questions from the floor from APTN National Grand Chief Gerald Antoine.
How are you going to implement the treaty relationship, Mussy?
We should be, rather than resisting, we should be assisting them, because everybody I talk to, whether they're in business or whether they're in government, can't explain to me what happens if the Indigenous government get everything that they want. And how will that affect us? It's not like they're going to take their lands and their people and walk away with what they've got. They are going to be developing those resources and moving ahead, and we will all benefit from that.
The election is 6 weeks late from the original October 3rd date due to wildfires. On the minds of many, emergency preparedness after Northerners endured a pandemic, floods, and wildfires in the intervening years.
Evacuations highlighted policy and planning gaps, for example, around emergency preparedness and equitable access to information.
Operating under consensus government, once MLAs are elected, they will choose a premier and 6 other cabinet members. The premier then gives portfolios to each member of cabinet. Charlotte Morritt-Jacobs, APTN National News, Yellowknife.